thinking nobody saw her move, but we learn that Adolf was able to see it. During the second part of the event, the participants display their magic and the judges give them a score as Yumila realizes that she has free time because she's the last participant to perform. Oswald approaches her, telling her that the judges won't score them based on strength alone because they will also take precision into account. So he thinks he has the advantage because he has mastered all the basic elements. He apologizes for treating her harshly because he doubted her when she told him about her level, but he reveals that he doesn't like her, so he's determined to defeat her in the contest. Alicia uses her light magic, causing orbs of light to appear in the arena, as Yumila recalls that she used to watch the stars with her grandmother, realizing that she took her advice. Alicia receives 88 points for her performance, as the magic instructor mentions that it was a beautiful spell. Edwin enchants his sword, and he swings it around, creating a pillar of fire, as the judges give him a score of 90. During Oswald's turn, he summons a block of earth, and he divides it into tiny pieces. He calls fire and water to his side, causing them to converge, as he summons a whirlwind, creating a pillar made of the 4 elements. The judges give him a score of 100, and he becomes cocky, thinking Yumila doesn't stand a chance. She enters the arena, but she doesn't have a plan, and she sees Patrick watching her, wondering why he's so far away. She wants to impress him with her magic, but he suddenly backs away, as she wonders what's wrong with him. She reveals that she isn't confident in her control, so she'll have to rely on the strength of her magic, and she uses her full power, summoning a massive black hole, which completely covers the sky. She stops using the spell, and the sky becomes clear, but a typhoon is suddenly formed, as she realizes that it was created by her black hole. Everyone panics, thinking they're going to die, but she realizes that she only used one spell, thinking she needs to continue her performance, but the official begs her to stop, saying she can have 300 points if she ends her performance. Yumila wins the event, so Ronald gives her the prize, as she notes that her magic will become stronger, but he wonders if she even needs it. She thinks that he doesn't understand its true value, so she shows it to Patrick, asking for his opinion, but he tells her she doesn't need it, so she becomes upset, thinking she should display her full power. Yumila realizes that her first year in the academy is about to come to an end, but everyone's afraid of her, because she summoned a black hole during the martial arts competition. We learn that Patrick is the only one who talks to her, but she notes that her life is finally peaceful, because the boys are no longer bothering her. But Edwin suddenly approaches her, and he reveals that Alicia's belongings are missing, asking her if she's the one behind it. She denies this, and Patrick tells him that he shouldn't accuse her without evidence, so he decides to walk away, saying he will look into the other students. She knows that in the game, she was the one who bullied Alicia, and she wonders who's doing it, knowing her classmates hate Alicia because of her commoner background. Yumila doesn't want the bullying to escalate, because Alicia might stop going to school, so she decides to look into it. Later that day, we see a girl approaching Alicia's desk, and she tries to take the books, but Yumila stops her, causing her to freak out, because she's afraid of her. The girl reveals that she's doing it for Eleonora, so Yumila pays her a visit, informing her that the girl tried to steal Alicia's books. She wonders if Yumila thinks she's behind it, but Yumila denies this, saying the girl told her that Eleonora isn't involved. But she explains that Edwin might hate her, because the girl is connected to her. She's worried that Edwin will end up with Alicia, so Yumila assures her that Edwin can't marry a commoner, but we learn that this is a lie, because Edwin married Alicia in the game. Yumila advises Eleonora to ignore Alicia, saying she wants her to end up with Edwin. So she takes a liking to Yumila, who notes that she has accomplished her goal, because she was able to stop the bullying of Alicia and protect the culprit. Yumila meets Patrick, who wonders why she didn't expose the girl, thinking it's better for Edwin to discover the truth. But she mentions that she could have been in a similar situation, as she recalls that her character served Eleonora in the game. She tried to steal Alicia's books, but she ended up getting caught, so Eleonora shunned her in the end, causing her to suffer, and she started her quest for power, wanting to get revenge. But Alicia defeated her in the end, because her dark magic is weak against light. Yumila tells Patrick about this, but he thinks her situation isn't so different, because nobody likes her. But she mentions that she's satisfied with her life, because she has someone she can talk to. She bids him farewell, as she notes that she had a hard time finding someone to talk to, so she thinks she'll never have a boyfriend. A few days later, Yumela realizes that Eleonora is following her around, inviting her to a tea party. She tries to avoid Eleonora, knowing she's connected to the anti-king faction, but she keeps following her. So Yumela tells her to stop, but she explains that she has sweets, so Yumela ends up joining her. Eleonora gives her cookies, and she tries eating it, as Eleonora explains that she was the one who baked it. Yumela thinks this is her chance, because she wants Eleonora to hate her, so she mentions that it tastes terrible, thinking Eleonora will become angry. But she reveals that she was just testing Yumela by giving her a failed batch, and she admires Yumela's honesty, because she was the only one who told her the truth. Eleonora reveals that she started baking because she heard that Alicia gave Edwin sweets. Yumela tells her that Edwin will never enjoy her sweets, but she isn't offended, so Yumela becomes confused because she can't get Eleonora to dislike her. She notes that Eleonora is an idiot, so she thinks that someone is manipulating her. Yumela asks about the girl who tried to take Alicia's books, knowing Eleonora gave the order, but she mentions that someone convinced her to do it. So Yumela realizes that the idea came from one of her followers, thinking she isn't a bad person. Yumela advises her not to trust her friends, and she asks Yumela to help her with Edwin, but she doesn't know what to say, because she doesn't want Eleonora to end up with him. Days later, Patrick reveals that he talked to Eleonora, and he thinks she isn't a bad person, saying Yumela should give her a chance. He invites Yumela to the year-end party, but she declines, and as she walks away, she notes that it's meant to help the students practice for joining high society, thinking it's useless, so she wants to skip it. But she recalls that in the game, Alicia will leave the party with her chosen love interest, so Yumela thinks about joining, wanting to confirm if Alicia is going to end up with Edwin.